started, we're going to have a Quran recitation by Brother Faris, who's going to be reading ayat of gratitude.
Assalamualaikum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وليمحص الله الذين آمنوا ويمحق الكافرين. أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يعلم الله الذين جاهدوا منكم ويعلم الصابرين. ولقد كنتم تمنون الموت من قبل أن تلقوه فقد رأيتموه وأنتم تنظرون. وما محمد إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل أفإن مات أو قتل انقلبتم على أعقابكم ومن ينقلب على عقبيه فلن يضر الله شيئا وسيجزي الله الشاكرين. وما كان لنفس أن تموت إلا بإذن الله كتابا مؤجلا. ومن يرد ثواب الدنيا نؤته منها ومن يرد ثواب الآخرة نؤته منها وسنجزي الشاكرين. وكأين من نبي قاتل معه ربيون كثير فما وهنوا لما أصابهم في سبيل الله وما ضعفوا وما استكانوا والله يحب الصابرين. وما كان قولهم إلا أن قالوا ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. فآتاهم الله ثواب الدنيا وحسن ثواب الآخرة والله يحب المحسنين.
تكبير.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Faris. Welcome back, everyone, to day 3 of our series, Last 10 Days of Ramadan, Purification of the Soul. Today we're going to be discussing the topic of gratitude with Sister SHIREEN QUAIZAR. She is a school psychologist and life coach for parents and children, and as a certified professional, Sister SHIREEN has personal as well as group training experience. She has conducted several in-person and online workshops for parents and children focusing on mental health, social emotional learning, and parenting challenges. Sister SHIREEN is also a co-founder of Moxie Living, which focuses on women's holistic wellness throughout self-assessment and self-care. Everyone, please help me to welcome Sister SHIREEN.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, we are 22 days in Ramadan. Who here thinks it went by so fast? Like almost all of us, mashallah. And also tonight is the 23rd night, and it's also a Friday night. So, there have been like some ahadith where they say that when one of the odd nights they fall on the night of Jummah, that is one of the closest nights to Laylatul Qadr. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, help us all be there and be on our best selves on this night of Laylatul Qadr, inshallah. So we are going to talk about the gratitude, the importance of gratitude in Islam and how it purifies our soul. So, as Muslims, the gratitude is part of our being. Every single day, we engage in gratitude knowingly and unknowingly. When we are praying, what surah do we start our prayers with? Surah Al-Fatiha. And when we are praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are also showing our gratitude. So, there are some scholars who say gratitude, shukr, is half of our core belief. So these days there has been a lot of research on law of attraction, law of manifestation. Who here knows about them? I mean, it's something very new, and people think that it's like a very a new science. But what we don't know is Islam, when it came, it brought in the law of manifestation and law of attraction, law of vibration with it. So this is what we are going to talk about today. Now I want you all to think, close your eyes and just think about something you are grateful for today. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Close your eyes. Think of one thing that you're really grateful for, that if you did not have that, your life would have been incomplete. Are we all able to come up with one thing? Yes? Does anybody want to share? Islam. Alhamdulillah. Who else? Yeah.
My mother.
MashaAllah. Yes, your mother. Alhamdulillah.
The center.
Alhamdulillah. Who else from here? Yes. MashaAllah. Yes, Alhamdulillah for our families.
My friends.
Your friends. And I'm pretty sure your friends are also grateful that you were their friend too. I am grateful that Alhamdulillah, so many of you showed up today. I am not joking. When Sister Khadija told me that it's going to be between 11 to 12 after Tarawih, I was thinking half of you will be gone. Most of you will be gone. But mashallah, you showed up in such big numbers. So alhamdulillah, I am grateful to all of you. And this is one thing that Islam teaches us, that when we show our gratitude, we show our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sure. But we also need to show our gratitude to the people around us who make this life worth. Am I too loud? Who make our lives worth living. So recent sciences and positive psychology has, research-based. It's indicated that gratitude improves your mood. It helps you appreciate things in life. It helps with emotional regulation. And when we talk about gratitude in the essence of Islam, we talk about religious stress management. And it also helps us forge lasting relationships. Now, how do we practice gratitude in a way that it becomes a voluntary act every single day? I just told you that every single day we are engaging in prayers which are filled with gratitude. We start with the praise of Allah, we do the gratitude, and then we make a dua. Every single dua that we make, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, right? We say Alhamdulillah. If I ask you, how are you doing? What do you say? Alhamdulillah, right? We give thanks to Allah right away. How do you, and again, before I go into it, how do you practice gratitude daily in your life knowingly?
After our salah, I know sometimes you do it without thinking, but once you stop and really think, every time you come to that, you think of the things that Allah gave you, and there you go, you just have your little gratitude session 5 times a day.
Alhamdulillah, yes. The dhikr that we do right after salah, it's a very voluntary act. People can skip that. And when you are saying Alhamdulillah, you are doing it 5 times a day. Absolutely. How else do we show our gratitude? Daily. Anyone from the boys section? How do we show gratitude? If I give you something that you really, really, really wanted, how will you show your gratitude?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. But what else are you going to do? Are you just going to say a thank you?
Say Alhamdulillah.
You're going to show your appreciation, right? It has to come from heart. You cannot just say thank you to me if I give you something that you have been really, really wanting, right? How many of us engage in daydreaming of things that we want? How many of us? I think everybody, like everyone here, at some point during the day will say that, oh, I want this. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? We all daydream about life we want, things we want, grades we want, success that we want. The essence of gratitude is so in tune with it that if you really, really want to achieve what you want, start reflecting on what you have. And I'll start with the most basic thing each one of us should be thankful to Allah today. It's the ability to breathe. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Quran that, as Muslims, our lives are filled with trials and tribulations. We are promised rewards in the afterlife because of our actions during those trials and tribulations. Now, if, like we have stories of prophets where they were given such trials that they were, like, if anyone today gets those, it is going to be hard to imagine how can they continue. Can anybody give me examples of those prophets?
Can you repeat the question?
Can you give me example of a prophet who went through trials and tribulations by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and showed us example of gratitude? Prophet Isa. Tell me how.
One day started to beat him up, the Christians.
And no, not the Christians. They did that the others. Yes. So he was still thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? He did not complain. Who else? Ayub alayhi salam, who said that? Yes, absolutely. The sickness that he was given, and it was one tragedy, one after another. And each time when the angels came to him, he was still thankful to Allah and ready for more. Yes. Ibrahim alayhi salam, how so?
Because when he was in the fire, he stayed in there, and then Allah told the fire not to hurt Prophet Ibrahim.
Absolutely. Who else? Wait. I have one. How so? Exactly, but even through those trials, even though he was crying throughout those years, he was still very thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes. Yes. Yunus alayhi salam, when he was swallowed by the fish, what was he doing inside the belly of the fish? He was constantly praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yusuf alayhi salam. You want to explain how? I mean, of course, we all know. And when he was, each and every stage, whether he was thrown into the well, or when he was in prison, or when he was wrongly accused, he did not stop praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yes. How so? And he always showed that he always praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and showed the gratitude. Yes. How so?
People kept disobeying him and he kept trying. So he felt convinced.
He kept convincing them, and when people made fun of him, he did not stop. At nothing would let him stop because he had such strong belief. And again, when he was able to protect those people around him, he was very grateful. Anybody else? So I'll tell you, if you start reading the stories of all the prophets, one common theme you're going to find is constant gratitude and praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I want you to understand these two things go hand in hand together because, like, you know, in the Quran there is two words we are constantly reading, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, which means so that you will be grateful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to show His gratitude. He has promised us tons and tons and tons of blessings in afterlife. But when He is asking us constantly to be grateful for what we have and for what we are given, it is to reward us every single time we are engaging in the act of gratitude. We are receiving blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the very famous surahs of Quran, and there's an ayah that is repeated again and again. Can anybody tell me that ayah about gratitude? I am pretty sure when I say it, all of you will know it. Yes, which one is it? So it's, basically, which of your Lord's blessings do you deny? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's not even waiting for you to think what you need to be grateful for. He is telling you each and everything that He has done for you. Can we live without a sun over our heads? No. Can we live without the sea and the air and the earth and the fruits and so many blessings that He has bestowed upon us? We can't even imagine. So now think. I want you all to reflect at this moment. Just think. Take 15 seconds. Think of a time where you really feel that the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you are better than those who don't have it. Just think about it. I'm just going to give you 15 minutes. Oh, 15 seconds, sorry. 15 minutes. Because I'm going to ask you to share. You're not listening, right? I'd like to know what that means. Yes.
Smell like your house, shelter.
Your house and shelter and Islam, correct? Absolutely. Anyone from here? Yes. We as Muslims, yes, absolutely. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Takbir! Yeah, exactly. And I am pretty sure the way you appreciate Islam, it's better than many of us around you do. Who else? Oh, she said she has been Muslim for the past 20 years. They're very excited. Alhamdulillah, it's good. What time is it? It's 11:31. We need that energy at this time in the night. Okay, who else? Working from home. Yes, you have a blessing that I don't have. So you're definitely, you should be grateful. Safety and security. Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead.
My family.
What? Being from the country that almost won the World Cup? Oh, go Morocco! Alhamdulillah! I'll tell you. Okay, I want you to wait. Guys, I want you to think about it. This is the month of Ramadan. And you know that Ramadan is the month of reflection. Now think about it. Every single day when you start your fast, you know exactly at what time in the evening you're going to eat. Correct? Do we know people So isn't that something to be grateful for, especially during this month? We know exactly that at 7:34, we are going to have that date and the first sip of water. We look forward to it. We even know exactly what we are going to eat. Then, sometimes we'll have Texas chicken because, our parents can afford it.
I was going to say some people don't even have like the luxury to have like a meal for iftar. Like they don't.
Many people don't have luxury. So like if you think about the people who have been victim of earthquake in Syria and Turkey, think about how many of them do not have what we have in front of us every single day. Yes. We get to go home and we have a nicer bed, we have heat, we have roof on top of our head. If it's hot outside, we have air in our house. We have what many people don't have around us. So now if we cannot show gratitude after having such security, food security, shelter security, safety, and being able to live in a country where we know we are not going to die hungry. Yes. Education, that exactly, absolutely. That is such a huge blessing, and many people who want it, they don't get to have it. So, money, yes, money is, alhamdulillah, many people do not have that kind of safety around them. So I want yes, go ahead. Clothes, exactly, clothes that are, maybe weather appropriate. It's general necessities of life, right? You have your wants and you have your needs. How lucky we are that we are able to get what we want. Even if we do not have it all, we do have more than others around us, right? Now we understand the why of the gratitude. Why do we need the gratitude? Now let's talk about how. So we need gratitude to be something. It's like every muscle. If you are going to work a muscle, it's going to be strong. Empathy is a muscle. We need to feel. We need to practice compassion to constantly be in the state, in an empathetic state. Just like that, gratitude is a muscle. So can I ask all of you, and right now I'm not going to ask you for one thing, and I'm not going to ask you to share either. Do a 10-finger rule and start counting 10 things that you are grateful for. And it might become hard after number 3 or 4, but I want you to keep thinking. Think about 10 things, and I'll do it with you. Okay? 30 seconds.
What's the question? Stop.
Was anybody able to get to 10?
Yes.
Who was able to get to 10? What did you count to 10? What was it? Oh, so you named your each and every family member? Okay, that was smart. But was it hard to think about 10 things that we are grateful for?
Yeah.
For some it was easy, for some it was hard. And if it was hard, think how lucky you are. Now I'll repeat it. If you think it was hard for you to count to the 10 blessings that you need to be grateful for, think how lucky you are. Because acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation of all abundance and all happiness that will come to your life. powerful thing to understand that the more grateful we are, the more abundant our life will be. And now that is the concept of, that is the concept we have as Muslims. Now, this is exactly what law of manifestation teaches you. And law of manifestation came probably 50 years ago. How long ago did Islam come?
Like 14.
Right? So we need to understand that the more we thank Allah, the more abundant we will be. The more we are thankful, the more power we will have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what we want. When we make dua, people always like, there's a formula for dua. Does anybody know the formula for dua? Yes. It's a yes. Go ahead with the sandwich. Yes, but you forgot the salad in the middle. So we start with praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we praise Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then we make our dua and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what we want. But then we also need to do shukr for all that we have, because we cannot, like if you go to your parent and you only say, I want, how receptive your parents are going to be with your demands? How receptive your parents are going to be. As a parent, I can tell you, I'll think that you're so unthankful for everything that you have around you. But now, if you really, really want something out of your parents, how you should make that request. If you just tell me one thing that you are really grateful for, and say that, like, Mom or Dad, thank you so much for such and such thing that I got yesterday. Can I please have such and such thing today? I am going to be more receptive to that kind of request. Because in my mind, what I did was acknowledged at least. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is 70 times, like His love for you is 70 times your mother's love. So if you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make that sandwich, praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praise Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, show gratitude for what you have, then make that dua, and that dua you towards what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, even though they're not going our way. Do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to deny your request? No, absolutely not. So I'm going to end this conversation with saying that hamd, when we talk about hamd, when we talk about praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hamd is not just praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's showing gratitude. And if you're really showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm going to ask you to start showing gratitude to people around you. Someone opened the door for you, show them gratitude. Someone brought you a gift, show them gratitude. Someone gave you some space, show them gratitude. It doesn't have to be a Muslim, it doesn't have to be someone you know, it can be anyone. It can be someone younger than you, it can be someone older than you, it can be someone who you made fun of the other day. And if you show them gratitude, also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness and for me to them. And trust that when you are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send His blessings for you. Now, do we have any questions?
Nope.
Really? It was this awesome that you have no questions?
It was awesome.
Oh, awesome.
I felt like I really reflected.
Yeah, I can see it, how reflective you were. Any comments? I would really love to know any reflections, anything that you would want to add. Because we are not I'm not the only authority. Know that each one of us, regardless of how old or young we are, we have something to give to others. Any reflection, any self-reflections, anything that we can add to this conversation about gratitude. Yes.
I think that gratitude is something that we can so glad that this conference
Absolutely. Gratitude is something that is so easy to forget because we are not asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know that we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like, while we're sitting down or we are getting up. I will give you this advice. Like when you wake up in the morning, when you make your salah, if you can just sit down with yourself and think of one thing you are thankful for. I would say 3 things, but if 3 things are hard, just think about one thing that you are really, really grateful for and do it consciously. You will see how your day will switch to such a positive, productive day because you started your day with remembering something that you have. But if I start every single day that, oh, I really want my day to be good today or my teacher to be kinder to me, it's not going to work. But if I say, Alhamdulillah, I was able to have a good night's sleep. Alhamdulillah, I was able to get that assignment in on time. Alhamdulillah, I was able to have a meal that I really wanted last night. Think how when you start your day with the gratitude, you will see but it is something that you have to practice. And you have to practice it for at least 1 month before giving it up. Anyone else wants to add anything? Absolutely, and I will add to that. I work with children with special needs, and I can tell you, many of those children with special needs, they can be in these spaces like you do. Do you know how overwhelming this space is going to be for a child who has autism? Think about it. They cannot even handle sitting down for so long. Think about a child with ADHD. Can they be in these spaces? And they can't. But we can make spaces for them. Like, I think as Muslims, how do we purify our souls? It is the power of gratitude, but also think how blessed you are. And once you know how blessed you are, how as Muslims it is our responsibility to make safe spaces for those who are not. Go ahead. Absolutely. I am currently working with a child who was born without the tympanic membrane. And she's a very smart kid. If I give her puzzles, I give her blocks, I ask her to, I can create complex designs and she can recreate them like within seconds without taking a lot. But I cannot ask her a verbal question. I cannot say, what is this? And she'll say, apple. Think about it. You are able to hear, you are able to process, and then you are able to produce a sound out of your mouth. That is such a huge blessing. And I always say, as Muslim youth, you have a lot of responsibility for others around you. Think about, there are so many, these days, in this day and age, you know that the occurrences of special needs have increased in past 10, 20 years. And the awareness is more. Think about how you can, if you realize how blessed you are, how much impact you can have on the world around you. Alhamdulillah, all of you, for you, Islam is something, you have this space. Ask your parents, did they have spaces in masjids where they were able to practice youth qiyam for last 10 nights? many people, many people don't even, somebody was telling me that when they were growing up, there was this one fitness center in Jamaica, New York, where they were, mothers will make space for a few girls and boys to be able to do a qiyam together, to practice the tahajjud, so that they know what needs to be done during last 10 nights of Ramadan. And now look at you, mashallah, all of you are sitting here. These spaces are just given to you. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for having me today. Alhamdulillah, I had such a blast. Half of them were listening, I promise. And all of them were listening. That I know for a fact. Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Shireen. Jazakallah khair everyone for attending today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow on day 4. We're going to be discussing the morning salah by Brother Ibrahim. Jazakallah khair everyone.